Hi, my name is Brian Kuhn, and this is the assessment for week one for Berklee's Intro to Music Production on Coursera.com. A little bit about me. I'm a 29-year-old audio engineering student or electronic media student at Ohio University. I'm there for audio and video. When I'm not doing that, I'm a gigging drummer. I do session work, I do gig work, I teach drum kit. But today, I'm going to be teaching you about a typical signal flow in my home setup. And as you can see, this is my home setup. So let's get started.
All right, boys and girls, the time has come for us to talk about signal flow. All right, as you can see right here, the signal flow starts as variable pressure variations in the air. That's what sound is. Sound is a bunch of molecules bouncing all around. It could come from my mouth, it could come from your guitar, it could come from the drums, it can come from anything. But as long as it makes sound and it makes them molecules vibrate, it will go through the air. So in this case, as we can see, it goes from my mouth, beautiful, isn't it? From my stupid mouth into this microphone. Now the mic you see in front of you is the Sennheiser E604. This is a dynamic cardioid polar pattern microphone. Cardioid means it picks up unidirectional everything in front of me in a heart-shaped pattern. It has slight pickup from the sides and almost no pickup from off-axis. That would be behind it. And as stated, the transducer is dynamic transducer. But we're not talking about the mic types here. We're talking about the signal flow. So that transducer converts our acoustic energy coming from our mouth that we just yelled about, and it converts it into electrical energy. And from there, the electrical energy is then sent through this balanced XLR cable. Balanced meaning that it is shielded throughout the length and it is not prone to pick up noise as we go through this long winding cable all the way over to my audio interface. This cable is plugged into channel 1 on this audio interface. This is the PreSonus AudioBox 1818 VSL. This is a 8-channel 24-bit up to 96K recording interface. There's a big discussion on the website right now. Everybody wants to know what type of interface you use or if it's essential. Well, for those of you who may or may not be seeing this, this is my interface. Now, the signal, the electrical signal, comes from in here. It is still analog signal at this point. It goes to this big black thing that you see it plugged into. That is the mic preamp. This is our first gain stage. We then have a trim where we boost the signal. Now, the analog signal, if you remember, is just inherently too low. So for the computer to be able to pick it up, we have to boost it or amplify it. So to do that, these preamps in this interface do that for us, and we just turn it up till it gets loud, like you hear me now. And that is brought up to line level. Then, after we boost the signal, this neat little device then does its magic. It does its other purpose of converting that analog signal that we just boosted into digital information. Now, the process of converting that analog to digital signal is called sampling. It does that because the computer cannot understand what I'm saying right now unless it gets converted into binary information, ones and zeros. That means on and off, and that's all the computer knows. So once it gets done doing that, it sends it out through a USB into my computer, where the computer reads all that digital information that we just converted and goes, oh, I know what he's saying now. I can hear it because I can read the binary. That's what the interface is for, kids. Once it gets into the computer, it then goes into our DAW, or our digital audio workstation. In my case, it is Adobe Audition. I also have Pro Tools 11, Logic Pro X. One other. I have Studio One. I have PreSonus Studio One, which comes with all PreSonus products. But whatever DAW you choose to use does not matter to me. I am using Audition. The signal is then taken into Audition, and it is recorded and then rerouted back out. Goes back out through the USB, back into the audio interface. Now, at this point, the speakers don't understand digital information, so the interface has to go, I'm going to take these ones and zeros, this binary, this digital information, and I'm going to convert it back to analog. Once that information is then converted back to analog, it is sent through the main outputs on this interface. Once that digital information is converted back to analog, there are several outputs on this piece of device that we can use. I use 2 of them. The 2 that I use I'm going to describe here. The first would be the main. The main outs are a left and a right. And these cables are composed of 2 1/4-inch TRS balanced cables. Now, if you remember, kids, those are stereo cables that are balanced and are capable of taking a stereo signal. Now, these go out the back, and they go up to the main speakers. These are my main studio monitors. These are the Yamaha HS7s. You turn it up, you hear it, you have good sound. Now you go, what happens, Brian, if my mom's sleeping and I'm trying to listen to Metallica at 3 in the morning? Well, I'll tell you what you do. You invest in a set of headphones, plug them in this guy, and send it through the headphone output. The headphone output, in this case, is also a 1/4-inch TRS tip ring sleeve balance cable. It coils all the way up through here into the sweet set of headphones you see on my head now that I can hear myself yelling in. These set headphones are the Sennheiser HD 280s. These are great studio response headphones, flat frequency response, $100. You won't go wrong. And then, of course, from there, it goes right back into my ear so I can hear myself and enjoy myself, or hear the music, or hear whatever you're recording, or hear your Netflix, or whatever it is you're doing. All right, boys and girls, that's going to wrap it up for this video on the signal flow as it presents itself in my home studio. I hope you learned something, and I hope I didn't mess anything up, and I hope I portrayed it in a way that was somewhat entertaining. If not, feel free to yell at me. Feel free to call me stupid on the forums. And if not, I look forward to learning from all of you and learning with you. Good night.